It's choppy.
Yes, a little choppy. Today's show is being brought to you by Doc's Pharmacy, by Geneva Brass Seafood, by First Choice Appraisals and Sales, by Massa Assist, by LRD Construction, by Frankie Campbell in the Southern Shores constituency of the Free National Movement, by Nature's Gift Fresh Roasted Peanuts, and also by Popper and Bannister's Election Dialogue Talk Show, which is brought to you from 5 to 7 on Global 99.5 FM on Sundays. I want to say welcome and good afternoon to our producer, Nathan, and my co-host, Martin Aubrey, who is just fresh from off the beautiful, adventurous, historic Eleuthera Island. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you and to our listeners out there. It was a sad occasion for me over the weekend, attending a funeral of a friend and brother in Gregory Town, Eleuthera. But that occasion was because of the death of a good friend. And while there, I got some good news. So it was mixed reaction. There are several people who tell me that they are now tuned in to Straight Talk 2 to 4 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday, and they could tell me that I was not on the show Friday afternoon. You know why? Because
they saw you.
They were listening to you. Oh, boy, what a day it is. So I'm happy to welcome aboard all those persons in Gregory Town, Eleuthera, and throughout the island who are now tuned in to Straight Talk by the internet, and they'll be listening and watching us until election day, they say, when they know that is when I'm about to take my vacation. But today, my friend, is also D-Day. You heard about D-Day? It is May Day, and May Day is the day that all those persons in aviation, those who are navigators, those who are in war, could tell you they are celebrating, because when you say May Day, that means you are sending out a signal of distress. You are in trouble and you need help. So I'm sending out the signal today. Today is the first day of May 2017. We have 9 days to go until the next general election. So today, for you out there listening this afternoon, it is May Day, and we need to know from you, what are the things that are causing you distress? Because we're here today to try to help you to correct the situations that are bad for you, or to give some sage advice as to how you can go about correcting some things that might be wrong in your life and in your country. So let's get Straight Talk started today on May Day. What is your distress call today?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start off with a piece in the Nassau Guardian, the editorial, and maybe this can help you identify and to pin down what's your distress notification maybe today. I just came from a very popular food store chain, and one of the young ladies got a very distressing telephone call, and it changed her demeanor completely, because she got some news that she was not expecting. She was expecting very good news, but apparently the news did not come in the fashion or in the form that she was expecting. And so it brought great distress to her and disappointment.
As she said, she was discouraged. Whatever the person on the other end of the phone was telling her, she concluded that it wasn't good. She was discouraged.
Well, the editorial in the newspaper today in the Nassau Guardian says the mad rush, entitled "The Mad Rush Before the Election," reads as thus: road paving is taking place. Schools are being renamed. Contracts are being signed for government buildings. State employees are being promoted. Money is being found to pay people that was once withheld. All of these things are being done to win on May 10th. The mad rush is to try and make happy as many people as possible in the few days before voting begins. There are 181,675 people registered to vote, the largest electorate we've had. This wide cross-section of Bahamians have faced the full range of experiences living under this government. They have inhaled smoke from the New Providence landfill. They know how hard it is to find jobs in an economy that has not grown in 4 years. They have been affected in some way by the crime problem. They pay the high electricity bills and sit in the dark when the power goes out. This has been a failed term for the governing Progressive Liberal Party, PLP. The hardships people face are real. They have endured them for years. We suspect that it's too late for the PLP to sway the majority of Bahamians to its side with last-minute gimmicks and giveaways. Bahamians want good governance. They have seen 10 years of Perry Christie. They know that at the age of 73, they will get no better from him. As we meet and chat with people in the run-up to the general election, one thing is striking. The only people who speak in support of the PLP are those in the party's hard base. Swing and independent-minded voters speak harshly of the Christie and his government. The PLP will not get their votes. The mood of the electorate seems similar to that of 1992. That was when Bahamians had finally had enough of Lynden Pindling, and they ended his 25-year run as our leader. The people seem to have decided that they have had enough of Christie. The PLP should be worried that a wave is building. When waves based on anger sweep across the country on election day, they often wipe out a generation of the party. There are many PLP candidates who are 60 plus. If they lose this time, it is unlikely they will ever see the House of Assembly again, as they will be either around or beyond 70 in 2022. No new PLP leader will want to come back to the people in 5 years with old faces. When you govern well and the prosperity of the people increases, and those same people feel safe in their communities, you often get a chance to return. The PLP's mad rush to impress the people with people's money in the last days of this term is likely to be a futile effort. Instead of seeming generous, the government comes across as desperate. The people have seen and judged the PLP. They are ready to vote. More effort should have been put into helping them years ago. And it's against this backdrop with the question as it relates to the age that I want to deal with today. On Friday, Papa put a question to me and sent me to do some homework to find out what would happen if a candidate dies during the general election. What does the law say if, God forbid, such a thing would happen? How does the law treat the Parliamentary Elections Act, treat that incident? Well, according to Section 43 of the Act that deals with the death of a candidate, 41 says as follows: a candidate not already declared to be elected may withdraw. Let's deal with withdrawal first. Okay. Because he also spoke about what will happen if a candidate withdraw, and we were discussing the possibility that if someone is not feeling well, whether they ought to withdraw and whether there will be any penalty. Well, according to the law, this is the law 41, Section 41.1 of the Bahamas Parliamentary Elections Act 1992. It says that a candidate not already declared to be elected may withdraw his candidate by notice of withdrawal in the first of the alternative forms H in the second schedule, signed by him and assisted by one witness, and delivered to the returning officer as follows. A, at any time before the 5th day after nomination. So a candidate can only withdraw without penalty before the 5th day of nomination. If he withdraws at any time before polling day, if the effect of such withdrawal is that of one candidate only remains standing for election, then of course, the other person would win by acclamation.
So we know that nomination day was about 2 Thursdays ago.
Yeah, so it's too late to withdraw.
Absolutely.
Without penalty. So if
That's
you withdraw now, you lose your deposit. Number 2, in the case of a candidate who is outside the Bahamas, a notice of withdrawal in the second of the alternative form H in the second schedule, signed by 3 or more of the subscribers of his nomination paper, and exhibiting a communication to his authority, and containing a written declaration of a candidate's absence from the Bahamas, shall be of the same effect as a notice of withdrawal signed by the candidate. 3, not later than the 2nd day after receiving such notice of withdrawal, the returning officer shall give public notice of the withdrawal of a candidate in the appropriate form I in the second schedule. Section 482 deals with offense. It says the following person shall be guilty of an offense against this act, namely, A, any person who, before or during an election, knowingly publishes a false statement of the withdrawal of a candidate at the election for the purpose of promoting or procuring the election for another candidate. Providing that the election of a candidate shall not be avoided for any offense against this paragraph committed by his agent other than his election agent, unless such person was committed with the knowledge of or consent of the candidate or his election agent. B, any person who corruptly induces or procures any other person to withdraw from being a candidate at an election in consideration of any payment or promise of payment, and any candidate withdrawing his candidacy in pursuance of such inducement or procurement will be guilty of an offense under this act.
That's something they'll have to prove.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's strict proof.
Absolutely.
Strict proof is required in that case. Section 43 deals with debt. If any nomination, if after nomination day and before commencement of the poll on polling day, proof is given to the satisfaction of a returning officer that the person standing nominated as a candidate and not already declared to be elected has died on or after nomination day, and before the poll is commenced, the returning officer shall forthwith countermand the poll, and all proceedings with reference to the election shall be commenced afresh in all aspects, as if the writ of election had been received on the day on which proof was given to the returning officer of the death of that candidate, and the returning officer shall comply with the provisions of this act accordingly, provided that no fresh nomination shall be necessary in the case of a person shown as standing nominated in the public notice of nominations published in accordance with the provisions of Section 39. And so I just want to, before I go on,
yes,
the question was also asked by Papa, and he was offering, and I told him on the top of my head, without referencing the law, because I know that law did not exist in the Bahamas, as to whether if a candidate dies, whether his wife or some other person can take over
his place
and
run instead.
And then that only can happen in the United States, not in the Commonwealth of Bahamas or any other Commonwealth country.
You can't be elected posthumously.
No. Now, let me go on. Section 39, which it refers to, it says, not later than the 2nd day after nomination day, the returning officer shall give public notice of nomination in Form G in the second schedule, showing the names of the persons standing nominated as candidates arranged alphabetically in order, firstly, of their surnames, and then, if necessary, of their other names, and showing all the particulars required of signing the candidates and the subscribers contained in the nomination paper. So that's what you have. The law makes it an obligation that after nomination, the returning officers have to publish in the papers the candidates who have been nominated, along with the subscribers, the names of those subscribers who have supported his or her nomination, yes, and the particulars as it relates to the list
must be certified and made
by a notary public or justice of the peace
and made public.
Yes,
absolutely.
So, Section 2, continuing from Section 43, after countermanding the poll. And countermanding means revoking it. All right, that's the meaning of countermand.
It's closed.
It's closed. You revoke it.
Off.
So you start a new, fresh poll.
Yes.
So that order to stand down, do not proceed.
It's order of revocation.
Revocation. That's
Absolutely.
correct. Yes, sir. All right. So after countermanding the poll, the returning officer shall forthwith close all polling places in the constituency for all purposes connected with the election until after the day of the countermand poll, and place a notice at the entrance of each polling place stating that the poll has been countermanded, and not later than the second day after the day on which the poll was countermanded, give public notice of the countermanding of the poll in the Form J in the second schedule, which notice may contain the fresh public notice of the new date for the election. Method of election, section 44. Where at the close of proceedings on nomination day, or where by reason of the withdrawal of a candidate before the 5th day after that day, one candidate only remains standing nominated for election to a constituency, the returning officer shall forthwith publicly declare that the candidate to be elected in respect of that constituency, and shall declare the results in accordance with section 3 of section 72. Where in accordance with subsection 1 of this section, more than one candidate remains standing nominated for election to a constituency, a poll shall be taken in accordance with the provision of this act, and the public notice of nominations given in accordance with section 39 shall include a notice of a poll which shall state the day on which and the hours during which the poll will be taken, the situation of each poll place, and the description of voters entitled to vote at each polling place. Now, I have a couple of questions that came up in my mind while I was going through this provision. Number one, what happens if a candidate dies who was a member of the governing or opposition party? Does it make a difference? The next thing, what happens if is that person a member of a third party? And what happens if that person was an independent? Does it make any difference? Now, I went a little bit further and did some research as relates to, and I believe in the United Kingdom, of which we got our laws, and we share historically, culturally, in many respects our legal system. There have been 9 instances of a death of a candidate during a British general election since 1918.
Okay.
There's been 9. The first election in which all constituents in the United Kingdom voted on the same day. The rules governing the procedure for dealing with the death of a candidate occur in the Representation of the People's Act, 1983. Unless the deceased candidate was standing as an independent, their death results in the election being postponed, whether it is a general election or a by-election. The poll is stopped immediately, even if voting has closed and the votes are being counted, unless the death occurs after the declaration of the result. So if a person dies during the election, even if the election has already occurred and they started counting, that event is immediately stopped. There's no further proceeding. And it goes on to say the returning officer must be shown proof of the death. A new election is then arranged for 28 days after this date. The time at which the returning officer hears of the death is the relevant factor, not the date of the death itself. It's when that date comes to the attention of the returning officer that becomes the important factor, not the actual date, death, but when it come to the attention of the returning officer. There is no requirement for other nominated candidates to re-register. So in the case of the Bahamas, where we've already had those candidates already nominated, if a death occurs, there may not be any need for the candidates who have already nominated to re-nominate again, because they've already been published and noticed that they were standing in that election. Now, and I'm going to stick a pin in this, so I'll come back to that. It goes on to say, according to the Electoral Commission, if the deceased candidate was standing as an independent, the election continues as normal. So in the UK, if you are independent and you die, tough luck for you. The election goes on.
Yeah, only a party can replace a candidate.
Only a party can replace
that's
a candidate.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Yes.
The Speaker of the House of Commons seeking re-election is treated effectively as if he was standing for a party, because I believe the Speaker of the House of Commons goes in as an independent, they allow by convention, they allow him to run as an independent. Not like our speaker here, he runs under
party banner.
He don't run on the party because the speaker don't run.
He's elected.
He's
as
elected
a member of parliament.
Yes. He's elected as a member of parliament, and once parliament sits, they elect the speaker from among the majority.
That is true.
So, but in the UK, it's different. They actually run independently. Except that in the case other candidates may be nominated by any party or as an independent, as the proceedings may begin afresh. So what this is saying here is that other parties can be nominated, and you can, as a party or as independents, as the proceedings begin afresh. So once it starts afresh, it's start the whole process over again. Under all circumstances, the deposit will be returned to the estate of the deceased candidate. So the only way you can get your money back if you die, but you ain't getting it back. Your family or your estate will get the money back if you die before the poll or during the poll. Other than that, it's forfeited to the state. All right. The election is reheld with no new candidates and all deposits are returned. If it is a tie between a deceased independent candidate and one or more living candidates, the deceased candidate is ignored. Now, see, the British system goes into very well detail as to, because they've had the experience where persons were died during this. So we have, this is new, fresh ground for us in the Bahamas. It has not occurred based on the research that I've done, unless if there's anyone out there who may have information to the contrary, could call us and let us know. But we have had no such incidents thus far.
Just by elections as a result of the death of
one who was already elected.
Sitting member of parliament.
Right.
Yes.
The most recent candidate to die in the UK during the general election is former Eurovision singer Ronnie Carroll, who was standing in the Hampstead and Kilburn constituency as an independent, who died on the 13th of April 2015. And as he was an independent, the poll is not cancelled and will be proceeded with his name on the ballot paper. If he wins posthumously, a by-election will be held.
Absolutely.
You can't have a dead man sitting in parliament, right?
No, but he could be elected, though.
He could be elected.
Yes.
A dead man can be elected.
Yes, he can.
But he can't sit.
He will not sit.
He will not sit. Cannot sit. And so a by-election must be held. I hope that clears up the questions that Papa had for us on Friday. And those of you listening may shed some new light as to the procedure. And it's since there have been some concerns over the health of some of our candidates, it's interesting for us to talk about it, because you never know what happened. I was sitting in a forum yesterday. These folk, and you see, think about politicians. They speak as if they have control of everything. They speak futuristically about things that they want to do, going to do, and they don't know that.
Well, it's called promises and planning.
Promises and planning.
Yes, that's what they do.
And
they
more promises than planning.
And they go in the war room and they plan a certain amount of things that
they have no control.
They would like to do, and there is absolutely no control of anything that they wish to do. Right now, I drove on Mackey Street. They've begin paving Mackey Street days before the general election. They're scarifying, grading, and doing all these kinds of things. But who was to say that that road will be completed and paid for between now and the 10th of May? They're planning, but nobody knows. They have a lot of sidewalks that are still incomplete. Who's to say that this work will be continued and completed before May 10th? And as I said at the outset, today is May Day, and they are making a mad rush before May 10th. But how much can be done in this short window, this short space of time? But I tell you, there will be, and there continues to be, a great amount of promises and planning, because we're also being told that Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, is making his way into Freeport, Grand Bahama, where he expects to deliver a earth-shaking announcement, I'm being told, for Grand Bahama. But what would it profit those people in Grand Bahama between now and May 10th? Absolutely nothing. Is it an election ploy? Another big promise? It is a part of a plan. Now, what is the plan? We got to wait to hear what the Prime Minister has to say. But in other words, there are quite a number of things that they are going to be telling us about between now and May 10th about what they intend to do. But one of the things that they've been telling us for months that they were going to do was to have the Honorable Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson tell us about the deal for the sale of Bahama that's now in the Supreme Court. Looking at the newspapers today, I've seen where the heads of agreement between the government and Bahama has been released. But I'm still waiting with jaundiced eyes to see the seal deal between the parties involving the sale of Bahama that is being held lock and stock barreled up in the Supreme Court.
Well, I think, I'm not concerned too much about, because we know that the government has made a further concession with, as it relates to Bahama. I can't say with anybody because we don't know who it's sold doing it, because we know it ain't sell, right? Because we have not seen any signing going on about who the owner is. Who a potential owner may be by some
Chow Tai Fook Enterprises out of Hong Kong.
Right. They have been co-offered as the preferred buyer, but we don't know, because they have said they will not buy it until all the construction is complete. And so, this construction is not complete, so we don't know whether they're going to. They may fall through with the buying, or they may not fall through. But one thing is, we know we got to get Bahama open.
It's a part of the plan.
Yeah,
it's in planning.
Yeah,
who knows until it all comes to fruition.
Mm-hmm. And so we wait with bated breath to see whether that comes to reality. But for the sake of those 1,600 employees who are now employed at Bahama, we hope that everything goes well and to get the hotel fully operational, and that all of this mystery, this enigma, is replaced with certainty, with some degree of confidence. And so we are going to. All right. Anyway, I hear the music is playing in the background. We're going to take our first break. If you're just joining us, and again, we want to say hello to those listeners in Eleuthera, and particular Gregory Town, Eleuthera.
Yes,
those of us in Mangrove, those who are listening in Mangrove Key, Andros, we want to say welcome to you.
Michael Albury, they call him Jim Rat. He's watching.
Yeah.
And we have Lauren Bastian. All tuned in right now.
All right. And
welcome
once
aboard.
Again, we are broadcasting live from our studios in Global 99.5 FM. And you can tune in and watch us live in the studio on Facebook. Just go to Facebook and type in Global Radio 995. Like us on Facebook, and you can send your comments. And, of course, our telephone numbers to participate today: 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 552-7902, 552-7902. This is Straight Talk. We're coming back after we hear from our sponsors.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. Westwinds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction.
Southern Shores, you deserve better, and better is coming soon. Team Campbell has mobilized and is ready to restore a clean environment, free from illegal dumping, dredging, and unkept streets. Team Campbell will restore the spirit of community, where law enforcement and residents will work hand in hand to ensure safety and security. Your highways will be fixed so that motorists can move around quickly, while also ensuring the safety of your pedestrians. You know him as 40, and whenever the bell rings, vote Frankie Campbell, Free National Movement.
Hello, my name is Frankie Campbell, and I approve this.
The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Who are you going to vote for? Are you a diehard supporter, undecided, or do you believe that it's time for a change? Well, Popper and Bannister need to know. Who are you gonna vote for? Join Popper and Bannister live election dialogue on Global 99.5 FM Sundays 5 to 7 p.m. That's Popper and Bannister live election dialogue each Sunday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Global 99.5 FM. Be straight up and be real with your choice.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Give me some straight talk, and hold the sugar, please. Straight talk, sounds plenty sweet to me. Don't talk to me in circles and some mumbo jumbo jive. Give me just straight talk, and we're gonna be alright. 'Cause I like to know just where I stand. I don't like guessing games, and I hate a bunch of gibberish. So just spit it out real plain. Don't use big educated words from your BS degree. Straight talk, don't try BSing me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk, and we are discussing the prospect. I read you the editorial from the Nassau Guardian.
Yes.
Which points to the fact that government is doing a lot of things. They're making a lot of promises.
Mad rush.
The mad rush to fix the roads.
For the next
I understand somebody that sent me a text that somebody that Customs just hired 100 people. The public service, they're clogging it. Which any government taking over them gonna have trouble. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk.
Good afternoon, Rev. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Mr. Audrey Riley.
I'm doing good.
All right, sir. Mr. Audrey.
Sir.
I'm trying to catch you all. I can't catch you all too good. But I hear one of the PLP spin doctors on ZNS,
Yeah.
Mr. Francis, he being on the ground, and they telling them that the PLP win 3 seats down there
Where's that?
in Freeport.
Okay. Well, I was talking to somebody today like him, and they tell me you cannot trust what's going on in Freeport. A lot of people are making predictions, but what you have to do is make sure you can get those people out to the polls on election day.
Yes, sir.
That's a very important thing.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you'll be looking at these crowds and these numbers of these rallies, and every time you look at one, you say, oh, that one was bigger than the other one. And then you see the next one. No, that one was bigger than that. You see what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
So the numbers, do not be disturbed or concerned about these numbers and what people are telling you about 3 going to the PLP and 2 to the FNM. They are listening to people who are telling them how they are going to vote. But if you do not get those ballots in the box, how are you going to count them?
See, Mr. Aldrich, it hurt my heart to see how we suffering and the people put the PLP back in power.
Well,
It hurt my heart.
that is their right.
I agree.
Yes, they have to exercise their right like you do yours. And in the meantime, though, you have some friends, some relatives, and associates who live in that area in Freeport and in Grand Bahama. You need to start talking to your people and see if they understand what you are seeing and advise them as to what you think they should do.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right.
326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 5527902, 5527902. On the topic of what we were discussing earlier as it relates to a candidate dying during the election, I received a text that says, you remember a former minister in the Free National Movement who died. Actually, he was killed in a general election. They were talking about Chuck Virgil. Well,
when was he killed? When was he murdered?
He was murdered during the campaign.
That's when it happened.
During the campaign.
Yeah,
it was not nominated. It was not nominated as a candidate as yet.
Okay.
So that's a different situation, different scenario. We have not had in recent memory or that we can in recent history where someone who had already been nominated died or get killed during the election. And that's the key. Yes, but you are correct. Chuck Virgil, he did not die. He was killed. They robbed him and they killed him. And that happened during the 1992, between the 1992-1987 general election. All right. Well, do you think that the inducements that are being given by the Progressive Liberal Party, is it a matter of desperation or is it a matter of smart politics? Tell us what your view is. Is it a matter of desperation or is it a matter of smart politics that the Progressive Liberal Party is doing to sway, to try to appease the majority of voters going into the general election by offering contracts, by paving the roads, by signing new contracts to do some things that they say are going to come on stream and will be completed. NHI, for an instance, is that a election ploy? Is that substance? Let's look at the Andre Rogers baseball stadium that it was under construction. We understand that has come to a halt because the government has not paid the contractor. So there's at the Andre Rogers Stadium by Woolsey. If the government cannot pay Woolsey, can it pay for the continuation of the sidewalks? Can it pay for the number, thousands of temporary contract workers that they're hiring for short time period going into election? Can they pay for the other contract services, the contracts they're signing to either build new clinics or build new infrastructures or schools and so forth?
The new bridge?
New bridge. Do they have the money? Or are they
playing hospitals on the island?
Are they playing with the Bahamian people to say that they have these good things in store and that they will do it after the election? Do they have the wherewithal? Do they have the money? Or are they setting us up for a increase in VAT to fund these things? Are we looking at that? Maybe they're going to start it, maybe they're going to do it, but are they setting us up that if you want those things, you have to pay maybe VAT will now be 15% as opposed to 7.5%.
Yes, just a couple of
Let
minutes
us know. We're
ago.
discussing. We're just putting things out there for us to discuss, to examine. And we've already given you, based on the Bahamas Parliamentary Elections Act, what happens in case of a person who may die between the general election, nomination day and election day. Give us a call, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 422-3010, 422-3010. Go ahead, Martin.
We just had that caller a few moments ago expressing concerns about the people in Grand Bahama giving the Progressive Liberal Party 3 of the 5 seats in the next general election. Well, they now have 3 of the 5 seats, do they not? And they will be looking to get more. But the caller was concerned that the people in Freeport, after going through what he described as being a terrible time under the Progressive Liberal Party's government in this last term in office, whether they are for real in making a decision to vote the PLP back in office and to have the 3 seats in Freeport under the PLP banner. That means the majority of the seats in Freeport. Well, Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, as we were told, is expected to either be on his way to Grand Bahama or already in Freeport, where he's expected to make a big announcement on an agreement which the government has been able to sign with a purchaser or a group of people to purchase the Grand Lucayan Hotel in Grand Bahama and to get the Memories property back up and running, because over the last 6 months or so, there has been a serious downslide in the tourism sector in Freeport, more particularly. And they're trying to resuscitate the tourism industry in Grand Bahama. And I heard on a talk show earlier today out of Grand Bahama, where one man was asked about the present condition of the economic situation in Grand Bahama today. Well, he talked about how things used to be back in the late 50s and the 1960s, when people in Freeport were able to go to 2, maybe even 3 jobs in a 18, 20-hour period with just a limited amount of sleep. They had full employment, he said, in Freeport, where you could make whatever it was you were doing, hundreds of dollars per day. But he's saying he took us on that long journey in the 50s and 60s and what was coming in through the 70s when the economy was booming. But now he's saying it is on a triage, meaning the economy is in critical condition. And what will it take to get Grand Bahama out of the doldrums that it is in as we speak? Will it take critical surgery? Would it take resuscitation, CPR? What is it? And for people, he says, in Grand Bahama today, to be talking about re-electing the PLP, they have to be crazy. No, not so. Some people love what they are experiencing, my friend. They are, should I say, comfortable, they're satisfied, and they have no problems with how things are going, because at the end of the day, they have their NIB smart card, they have their social services debit card. Now they're telling us that they would soon have their national health insurance card, and that Urban Renewal 2.0 is always there in Freeport and in 8 Mile Rock and other areas in Grand Bahama ready to assist them. Now, one woman came out, and here's what she asked the show host, my friend. Did you bring the bag? Did you bring the bag? And I heard one voice said, I don't know what the bag is or what you expect to be in it, but they didn't give it to me.
They didn't get the bag.
So, Grand Bahama, whatever you're looking for in the bag. Is there a rally tonight? Yes, there is. There's one in Abaco. Is that tonight or tomorrow night?
Tonight in Abaco.
Abaco tonight, and I believe
Tomorrow night is also in Abaco.
In the western end of Grand Bahama, there's a rally tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll give you some details
So
about that.
go on out to the rallies, and we'll tell you more about that as the show winds down.
I have a text here. It says, hi, just tuned into your show. I think Charles Maynard died before the 2012 election after he was nominated. No, he was the sitting member of parliament.
He was
for
at
Golden
a
Isles.
by-election
Actually-
campaign.
Actually, he was not a sitting member because I believe Halkitis had already defeated him. Is that so?
The 2012 election.
And
So
he was going to be nominated.
2007
Or was he?
general election.
Or was he still in house?
I believe he was the member of
He was
parliament.
the member of parliament.
Yes.
Because Halkitis,
Yes.
yes, okay. He was a sitting member of parliament, so that's not correct. He was a sitting member of parliament, and he did not have the chance yet to be re-nominated.
That is right.
And so he died before he was re-nominated to the House of Assembly. So that's a different scenario altogether. But thank you very much.
This was the by-election
In
to
Abaco.
fill the seat left vacant by the Right
Hubert Ingram.
Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram.
Yes, so he was
after
the sitting-
serving 19 years.
So he was the sitting member of parliament for Golden Isles.
Okay.
And so therefore, that one does not meet the criteria that we are talking about today. We have a call on the line. Welcome, Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Hey, Bishop, how you doing, man?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm pretty good. And Martin, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah, that
Business
thing
money,
about
but-
Charles, you were asking, what was the question? If he was alive for the lead up to the 2012 general election?
What did you say? Repeat the question again.
No, I was asking you if the question was whether Charles Maynard was alive leading into the 2012 general election or after the election was over.
No. Remember, Mr. Maynard was elected chairman of the Free National Movement.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was campaigning in Abaco during the
By-election.
occasion of the by-election upon the resignation from Parliament of the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. So he was a sitting member of Parliament going into the election, but he was he didn't have a chance for renomination. We were talking about candidates who are nominated in the general election.
What do you recall, caller?
Well, well, I campaigned with Charles in the last general election. During the by-election after the 2012 general election in North Abaco, Charles was not a sitting member of parliament. He had already lost his
He got defeated.
You got
by-
defeated
Yeah,
by
Okay.
Halkitis.
Okay.
yes, he had
All
already
right.
lost.
That clears it up.
But he was the chairman of the
But
Free
he was-
National Movement, right?
Yes, he was the chairman of the Free National Movement.
Right.
And during the by-election, that is when Charles actually met his demise.
That
Good.
is true.
Okay, so that nullifies what the text writer was talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about in the case of where a candidate has been nominated
between nomination day and
on
election day.
and they die.
Okay, all right. I have another question. I've been paying close attention to what's happening down at the Parliamentary Registration Department, and I've noticed some drastic increase in the voter registration number since the registration was closed. If you recall, when the registration closed, when they said that there would be the last day for registering to vote was on a particular day, but at that point, they said that there were a total of
Well, before
174,000.
before you proceed with crunching your numbers,
Uh-huh.
let's get a couple of things clear.
Okay.
You know, the night that the nomination, the registration of voters process closed, they had to get information from every center that they were doing registrations from around the Bahamas.
Okay.
So if they told us 174,000 and it is now 181,000, I won't be too concerned. What's your concern?
Oh no, I'm not.
You are concerned that the number has been increasing exponentially over the last days after the process completed.
Well, I would think that the more persons on the register to vote, that would be
excellent
indication. That would be an indication to the sitting government that a lot of people wants to get them out.
Okay.
So I would think that would be a plus.
But it could also mean that they put on some people who will keep them in.
Well, I'm trying to look at it positively.
well,
you have to also look at that possibility.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I know, they are famous for dead people voting.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. What they are doing right now is removing all names of deceased persons from the register up to yesterday.
You mean like them
So before the close of the business day today, the 2017 parliamentary elections register must be certified.
Caller, let me be the devil's advocate. Okay, on the close day of registration, the parliamentary commissioner announced that at that date it was 174,000 persons on the register.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Now, he said this morning, and I listened to him very carefully while coming to the station, he said that they have been carefully working late, removing duplicates and removing dead persons from the list. Now, if you had 174,000 persons on the list at the close of registration, and you're removing duplicates, which someone said there are at least about 200 persons who were duplicated on the register, and Christ knows we don't know how many dead people they may have removed. But if you are subtracting and not adding, how do you get 81,000?
Why you have 181,000? I got you.
Because they were getting the numbers coming in from Inagua, from Acklands, from Crooked Island, from San Salvador, from Cat Island. Are you getting the message? Do you see where the numbers were coming from?
Well, Martin.
Yes, sir.
Those 7,000 plus that made it up to be 181,000.
Well, I didn't call Eleuthera. I didn't call Grand Bahama. I didn't call Abaco. I didn't call Andros. Are you still seeing where the numbers could possibly come from?
Martin, you are always looking at things from that point of view. I understand you, right? But I don't trust these fellas. I know a lot of dead people from No Name Road to vote too,
I got you.
But let me put a question to you that I asked generally, and I want people to respond to today. All of these contract signing, all of these promises, all these election hirings and so forth, all the road paving.
Would you believe that they are now paving Mackey Street? You believe that?
I heard you. I caught the show at the beginning. I heard you, and I was like, oh, okay. As bad as Mackey Street was from 10 years ago, they are doing it now.
Do you believe that they are paving Mackey Street, a terrible thoroughfare?
That was terrible for Vietnam, and boy, hey, I don't put nothing past them, boy. They're desperate.
So is this desperation or is this good politics?
Do you believe that they are promoting? Do you believe today they are promoting people in the public service? You believe that?
Listen to me. I understood that some persons in the public service got promoted who has been retired now for about 5 years.
You mean they got promoted after promotion? After retirement?
They have already been retired now for 5 years. They've gotten their promotion that they were waiting for all the time. They got it now and they've been retired.
Oh, that was to give them some more money to retire on.
Well, I told you the government was going to find millions of dollars to pay off all of these things we're talking about right now because they want to win the May 10th general election. That's the bottom line.
When I heard the Prime Minister say on our Bailey Park the other night that that the police are going to finally get their money on the 29th of May.
And the police say they are very happy. They're happy. They are happy. But they want to see something in writing from the Ministry of Finance.
They ain't get that.
They want to see that.
They ain't get that.
Before May 10th.
They ain't get that.
And who have to authorize that letter? That gives the government.
Or if you see that letter written, that's going to be well crafted. That by the end of the day, you will have something in your hand, but you ain't have nothing.
My former colleagues in the RBDF are wondering when would they get their promotion.
Well,
Did they promise them anything?
we have 9 days. Tell them, stay tuned.
Tell them stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Take care.
326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 552-7902, 552-7902. And I got a corrected text. Someone also sent us that with relation to Charles Maynard, he had already been defeated in the FNM,
yes.
and so we corrected that.
Yes.
Mr. PM and Deputy PM, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Real great. Mr. PM, did you hear Papa will be speaking in Abaco tonight? Yes, we heard that Papa will be on the stage in Abaco, and he will be campaigning for his candidate, Mr. Henfield, and the Free National Movement will be waiting to hear what Papa has to say in Abaco.
I'm going to tell her some things. I believe what Papa had to say on nomination day, when he was flanked by Darren Henfield and a number of supporters who accompany Mr. Henfield to get nominated. Papa say he can tell you tonight why Abaco is returning red. And he also is going to come to Nassau and tell the people here why they should go back to the Free National Movement.
Well, I hear the music's playing. We are going to take our second break, and someone has sent me a breakdown of the election results. I'm going to read that and see whether you find it very interesting.
This is a prediction of the election.
Prediction of the election.
Okay.
Yes.
Very
So
interesting.
we're going to read this prediction and see how this stands up and holds up.
Yeah, I will rip it apart once I hear it.
Yeah. This is Straight Talk. We're going to take our second break, and when we come back, we will continue to take your telephone calls, your text messages, and your WhatsApp. I remind you that we are on Facebook. Watch us live in the studio.
Gregory Town, Illustrious is on board.
We're coming back. This
Good
is
to have
Straight
you.
Talk after these messages. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts roasted peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts roasted peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Who are you going to vote for? Are you a diehard supporter, undecided, or do you believe that it's time for a change? Well, Popper and Bannister need to know. Who are you gonna vote for? Join Popper and Bannister live election dialogue on Global 99.5 FM Sundays 5 to 7 p.m. That's Popper and Bannister live election dialogue each Sunday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Global 99.5 FM. Be straight up and be real with your choice.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction.
Southern Shores, you deserve better, and better is coming soon. Team Campbell has mobilized and is ready to restore a clean environment, free from illegal dumping, dredging, and unkept streets. Team Campbell will restore the spirit of community, where law enforcement and residents will work hand in hand to ensure safety and security. Your highways will be fixed so that motorists can move around quickly, while also ensuring the safety of your pedestrians. You know him as 40, and whenever the bell rings, vote Frankie Campbell, Free National Movement.
Hello, my name is Frankie Campbell, and I approve this message.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Give me some straight talk, and hold the sugar, please.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk, and I just want to share with you. And if you're just joining us, I want to say welcome. This is Global 99.5 FM. This is your host, Greg Colley, along with my co-host, Martin Albury. And this is Straight Talk. I just want to share with you a prediction. Someone has just shared with me, and is saying that Yamacraw, F&M will win. St. Anne's, F&M will win. Elizabeth, F&M will win. There's a toss-up in Seabreeze between the PLP and the DNA. In Fox Hill, PLP will win. Marathon, the PLP will win. Pinewood, PLP will win. South Beach, F&M. Bamboo Town, F&M. Garden Hills, F&M. Southern Shores, F&M. Come on, Barry, don't play with me now. Tall Pines, PLP. Golden Isles, a toss-up between the F&M and PLP. Carmichael, F&M. Kalani, F&M. Mount Moriah, F&M. Angliston, PLP. St. Barnabas, toss-up between the F&M and the PLP. Freetown, F&M. Farm Road, PLP. Fort Charlotte, PLP. Baintown, F&M. Marco City, F&M. East End, F&M. Pine Ridge, F&M. Central Grand Bahama, F&M. West End is a toss-up between the PLP and F&M. North Abaco, F&M. South Abaco, F&M. North Eleuthera, F&M. South Eleuthera, there's a toss-up, F&M, PLP. Cat Island, San Salvador and Rum Key, PLP. Exuma, PLP. Long Island, toss-up between F&M and PLP. Michael, F&M. North Andros and Berry Islands, F&M. South Andros, Independent. Toss-up between Independent and PLP. In South Andros, who's the independent candidate in South Andros?
I think it's some Farrington young lady, Shami.
Oh, is she running again?
I believe so. I think not that person. The young lady who was in charge of the data commission.
That's Shami.
Well, that's the person I'm talking about.
I see. Okay.
She said she was going to nominate, and we have to confirm that she did, in South Andros as an independent candidate.
Tell us what you think about these prediction. Martin, maybe we can analyze it.
Here's what I
let me give you the numbers.
No.
It's 21 for the F&M, 9 for the PLP, and a toss-up between the F&M and the PLP. 9 seats are toss-up.
And they gave an independent candidate at least one of those seats. No, nothing. No clear victory.
No clear.
Okay. And for the DNA, clear. No,
None.
for
They,
the
they, they
DNA.
are writing off the DNA completely.
Well, I would differ with them in at least one respect, and that is that the DNA has at least one bright light. And they're talking about the candidate, Mr. Greenslade, because everybody who has traveled throughout that area is saying Mr. Greenslade has the best chance of any of the DNA's candidates, including his leader, in winning a seat for the party.
Well, when you talk about the leader, I believe Mortimer did better than, or at least outshined, although he may have accumulated more votes. But the Mortimer sure was a more brighter star than the leader in the last election.
Yes, it might have been so, but in Nassau Village, last election, where Mr. Mortimer was able to garner all of those votes, he's not going back to Nassau Village.
But the same people don't cross
He
Charles
has
Sanders.
moved over to Seabreeze.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, only Charles Sanders Highway separates.
Did the constituency change? He moved from Nassau Village.
Yeah.
Well, people are telling me.
Yeah.
If he'd stayed.
And maybe most of his votes came from that section. If you look at how the polling and how the polling division, so you never know.
He's gone into a new area.
Maybe a new area, but part of the area which he also had in the last general election.
Some of them people didn't vote for him last election.
Mm.
So you see where his troubles are being doubled. Had he stayed, might have been a different situation. Who knows?
In Nassau
But
Village.
this is what predictions are all about. We can only give our view and move on.
Mm-hmm.
But the key to all of this, and the key, I keep saying it, people will talk and tell you all manner of things. But once you're able to get bus loads of them to go for you.
Like the Indians say, money talk cheap, money buy land.
Money always buy the land. And money solves most. Hallelujah. If you could get the buses loaded with these people, and you take them to the polling divisions, and you ensure that they get in there, and you have your poll workers glimpsing and know who's who and who's coming in, you could tell before the polls close whether you're in or out.
Does exit polling help us in determining
It
what
only
the results?
it only helps to tell you whether
Because maybe people's alive.
I'm going to tell you what it does. It tells you whether the people that you canvassed were telling the truth or you can't trust them. They tell you three things.
You know, my experience as a poll
They
worker,
lie to you.
as a presiding officer, you could see
Don't
through
trust me.
You could see through the shirt
'Cause I didn't vote
what
for
they
you.
wear, right?
Yes.
They have on two shirts.
Yes.
Some have on a shirt under their shirt.
Yes.
And you can see it underneath.
Well, I'll tell you the one who they vote for. The first shirt they put on.
Boy, it's making
That's
people
always
tricky.
the last one they want to take off.
But this is no trick. This that maybe these people are seriously angry with this government.
You know,
If you just came from a place just now and the person was expressing, and they are, I don't want to call them
Yes,
out and expose them, but
yes.
you know, we have never seen this kind of exhibition where people are willing to put their job security on the line to express how they feel politically in this country.
well, you know, I'll give you what I experienced in Eleuthera this weekend. Family, friends who I've known over the years to be very, very quiet about what their intentions are or were in a general election. They are now speaking openly. They are wearing their colors. They are displaying their flags. And they are not concerned about any possibility of
Repercussions,
victimization or whatever.
Mm.
They are speaking their minds because they are saying to themselves and to others and vocalizing these things, as I say, whether or not things could get any worse for them. Eleuthera, when I arrived on the island, the water was off. It's been off for days, but praise the Lord, by the time I was ready to go to the funeral on Saturday morning. We had water.
You never go into the salt water, eh?
So that's a good thing. And then I saw Clay Sweeten at the funeral, the
Progressive
the
Liberal
PLP's
Party
candidate, Clay Sweeten. He sat in the sanctuary as the candidate for a political party in the next general election. He wasn't allowed to say anything, but he was present and he was on top of the sanctuary. You understand? He left before the conclusion of the service, but we talked about his concerns: education, fishermen, and water. 3 things. Well, we know that the education system needs to be improved. They say they are improving the situation for fishermen. You know, the Spanish Wells, the fishing capital of the Bahamas. He's concentrating on those persons. I was told that the other candidate, Mr. Ricky Mackey, was also present, but he came late and he had to sit among the
communists.
Absolutely. But he was there. Didn't get an opportunity to see or hear from Mr. Ricky Mackey. Buddy Luthra is telling me that even though people are telling you things about it's going red or going yellow or gold or it's a toss-up, they are saying you will not get half of those people who tell you they voted for you to come to the polls unless you bring some concrete plans, things that they could see. Their schools have been dilapidated for years. The bridge where they have to cross to do their daily commutes to work back and forth has been in a state of disrepair for quite a long time. They can't get water when they want it on a daily basis because the plant is malfunctioning.
So this will have also effect on the agricultural industry in Eleuthera, or do they have well water?
They generally depend on rain, because the water that's coming through the pipes is treated with chlorine and all these other things to make sure it's
safe to drink.
Absolutely. So while it might be safe for the human
drink,
consumption,
but it ain't good for the plants.
Absolutely not.
Plants don't need to purify that for them. They have their own self-purification system.
They want that rain. So it's not as thriving as it used to be because people are losing interest in doing those kinds of things. So something has to be done to cause the minds of the people to change and to want to do things for themselves as opposed to waiting on a government to provide employment. And that's a major thing. They're looking for jobs. There's too much idleness on these islands. People have absolutely nothing to do. And the young boys generally are hanging out. But they could find some money to feed that drug appetite. And the girls are working and taking care of the boys.
Well, this text message says, Mr. PM, F&M will win 23 seats. DNA, none. I mean, none. Not one seat. God save the Queen. By grab. Well, that's
well. If you add 3 to the 21 that the F&M is now having under this poll, under this prediction that we have here today, that means they'll have 24, and you add 6 then to the 9 for the PLP, and you're saying the DNA will get none.
That's what the text writer says.
So we add 5 to the PLP, and they made 14. So who's getting the rest?
Well, if the DNA doesn't, well, we have a lot of independents in the race. we need to go through all of the constituencies to see the number of independents. So you cannot just automatically give them to the PLB. We have to look at those independents who there may be possibilities. There are several independents running, and we have to see whether that's possible.
If you can pull that up one more time and start from the beginning, so we can go through it.
You mean the one that I
yes, that prediction that you received.
Let's see if I can pull up that text right.
Yes, I believe they were telling you that
the FNM would get 21, the PLP 9, and 9 toss-up.
Okay, so let's begin with number 1. They are telling us, I believe I heard you say, that the Yamacraw
will be FNM.
Well, let's evaluate that. Who is in Yamacraw? Ellsworth Johnson of the FNM, Melanie Griffin of the Progressive Liberal Party, and I believe there's a DNA candidate also.
No, Melanie would be in Elizabeth.
Melanie Griffin?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Yes, Yamacraw.
Okay, yeah. So let's make sure we're on the same page.
We're on the same page.
Okay. You got Yamacraw.
Yamacraw.
Okay.
It'd be Melanie Griffin. You got Ellsworth Johnson.
Yes.
You have the DNA. I can't remember who the name of the DNA candidate is.
And
then you
Harris.
have an independent. Then you have the BNC party candidate in there as well.
Bahamas Constitution Party.
Yes. BNCP.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's been.
Let's go to the phone lines and we continue. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bishop. Good afternoon, Mr. Aubrey. Good afternoon, Nathan Roll. Good afternoon, all the listeners.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Bernice, how are you?
I am great. Listen, you know why I calling you, and not for no politics, because this thing is between God and country. It's for God and country and to empower our people. Now, I want everybody, because when I been on your show, you remember when I spoke about paranormal activities?
Yes.
Okay. I want everybody who's listening to my voice, because they said it was I was freaking out talking about sci-fi. There's a clip that God provided on XL. What I think it's 227 on the cable. It's California station. It's the 8 o'clock news where this young lady with those black under the eyes. You cannot see the pupil, the retina, nothing. All is turned into black. That is what you call spontaneous demonic attacks. Okay, I want you all to check that out, everybody who listening, and this is what is happening. This is a spiritual victory in a risen Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and godly practitioners who is the Father of a risen Lord. This is not no regular politics, so don't treat it that way. This back and forth between all these parties. You have 7 parties out there. Make sure write down the names and acknowledge all.
How much is 7?
7. You must, and 7 is God's number. I went to all the senior politicians.
Can you name those parties for us?
Not offhand. I don't have that handy, but I did. You know, I listened in.
But you know, it's 7.
It's 7. 7 officially. Who I'm representing? I think it's 7 parties being represented. See, and when I brought that paper to you, that copy, I took it to all senior officials from June 2nd, 2016. You know. I was on this assignment, and I want you all to watch that news clip from California. That's cable 227. Watch that and look at that woman's eyes, a young lady. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why you would have heard people say every time they saw the late Paul Lawrence Hadley and Drunken snapping only the eyes. Some things you could talk over the airway because some regular human being can't handle what's out there. There's over 30 types of religious practices and ritualistic occults in this Bahama land. So this is what we are dealing with. And let me send out my get well soon to Dr. Bernard Nottage. That's Mr. Olivia Johnson Nottage's son, and also Mr. Kendall Nottage.
You're sending out get well soon.
Yes, because
is it confirmed that Dr. Nottage is ill?
Well, he experienced some type of malady. That would be confirmed. From what I know from his heritage, he doesn't drink like that to be in that state. So we need to be very sensitive to what is happening. Okay? God bless all of those. See, I don't get mixed up in politics because me and politicians and I do not get on. But I wish the very best. But this thing has to be continued and investigated. That's why I told you it does not matter who wins this. Our people are in desperate situations. You still have top, and it's not because of any government. Okay, any administration. This has to be properly investigated, addressed, and our citizens.
Whatever is going on, whatever caller is going on in the country today, is the ultimate responsibility of the sitting government. That's the end of the story.
No, but you all have it back and forth.
So
you know how long I was trying to get this information?
But I'm trying to figure out
administration.
What is going back and forth. What?
No, but listen to me. When I start to attempt to get to the former prime minister, I kept telling them to call this meeting. Just how they got together to vote yes for the gender equality. All of the senior politicians and all of the women, both FNM and PLP, got together and voted yes for certain things, and they got paid. I told them they need to know the source of what we are dealing with. This is not regular crime, and it will escalate if they do not get together and resolve this matter. And all of our civil servants, y'all don't need to come out of your homes, because this will be resolved on completion of May 10, and especially my military. My military, let me tell them,
to go and vote.
Let God guide you, because it doesn't matter who
go
wins.
to the polls and vote.
They will not be taken out of their homes, because people are used to living, some of them in above average level. You will not be taken out of your homes, because some of these banks, what they are saying, Canadian banks, they do not have any authority to be here collecting money. That's number one.
Thank you.
You'll have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. We got another call on the line. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rev.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Did you have an anniversary?
Yes, I mentioned that on the show from Wednesday last week, and we ended yesterday at 3:30 p.m.
Well, Martin told me to call you and wish you happy, and anyhow, that was very nice of you, okay? All right?
Thank you.
I noticed this whole week current was going off. You all having that problem in your area?
No.
Every night my light go off. Every night.
Every night in Pinewood?
Yes, sir.
Well, they're trying to send you a signal. If you don't continue to vote to the PLP, you ain't have no light, period.
They can't tell me nothing. They can't tell me nothing but can't go. I pay my bill. Listen, this is Alicia Hart will run in Pinewood.
Who?
Alicia Hart. You all hear about her?
No. Who she is?
I don't know. The first I ever see was done. She's on Bodie's show.
Alicia Hart?
Yeah.
Which party she's running for?
She said she run independent.
Oh, independent. Okay.
In Pinewood.
All right.
But I ain't see her come around yet. I don't know what's going on.
Well, she was campaigning on TV today, I suppose.
Well, I hear on TV today, but you can't campaign on TV. Come out and let us know what's going on.
Let me ask you, is it realistic? Is it the expectation of Bahamians in the constituency? They expect to see the candidate, every candidate, every voter, they expect you to touch base. And if they don't touch base with you, you vex with them and you ain't going to vote for them?
Well, I don't know how she could win, because we don't know her. Ain't nobody here yet. She said she's coming out to campaign, but I ain't here yet.
Did you hear her release any plans, any programs as to how she would like to see Pinewood improve?
But I hear her saying this morning on the talk show, she was on a talk show, but the flooding, but that's all I hear her saying, she'll do for the flooding.
Well, that's a good thing. If she's promising you she will stop the flooding, I'll vote for her tomorrow.
But I'd be happy if she could stop that. I'd be happy if she could stop that. Because I see.
Did you say how she's going to do it?
She didn't say, but I see. But 5 of them being here saying, "We'll stop the flood." Now I see the flood and stop.
Well, none of them has been able to successfully stop the flood. Then you give Ms. Hart a chance.
You think so?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
If no man could do it, let's see if a woman could get it done.
Well, let me see then. I can't wait if she could do it then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, have a nice day.
You too. All right.
326-0271. 326-0271. 326-0272. 72. Or you can WhatsApp or text us at 552-7902. 552-7902. And the question to you today is this good politics being practiced by the Progressive Liberal Party, or is it desperation? And I speak in terms of the new hires that they're doing, the Bahama announcements. I understand the Prime Minister is in Grand Bahama to promise some, make some promise again. The promise of the police payment, of back pay. And Mr. Police had to take the government to court on 2 occasions and to try get them to pay the money, and they still ain't paid. The paving of the roads. Should you re-elect a government for paving the road, which they have an obligation to do anyway? You think that's something that they should be patted on the back? That's their obligation to keep the roads. Is that something that you paving the roads is something you should re-elect them on?
I know a lot of people who were looking forward to Mackey Street being paved on day one.
You're paying your license, man.
On day one.
You are paying your license to keep the roads maintained.
Looking forward,
taxes,
like many.
Road,
you listening to me?
Licensing fees.
Are you listening to me?
Go
they
ahead.
were waiting for Mackey Street to be paved on day one of the government coming into office last time. And it's just being done today.
Because they say your memory short. If they do it a long time, you remember they paved the road.
I was looking forward to Mackey Street and those side corners. Bradley Street, Madeira Street, all of those corners leading into Collins Avenue being paved because they were causing a lot of accidents. People trying to duck potholes, swaying in the lanes of other cars, trying to avoid rough patches in the road. I'm happy that they are paving Mackey Street. But if you listen to the Deputy Prime Minister tonight, Mr. Philip Brave Davis, wherever he ascends the podium during this campaign, listen to him tonight, and he will answer the questions that we're asking today. Why are they doing these things now? My brothers and sisters, these things have been in the planning and in the pipeline for a very long time. We always had our plan to do this thing. We had a plan to promote people in the public service. We had a plan to pay the overtime for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We have a plan to promote prison officers and defense force officers. We have a plan to name a Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. We have a plan. You just need to give us another chance. That is what Mr. Philip Brave Davis will tell you, because that is what he's always been telling us.
Let me read this text.
It's nothing to do with any political ploy or election ploy. It was always a plan.
The PLP believe everyone's stupid. Every time I think of this crew, I get depressed. It's time for them to go. Then the next text says, this country is too corrupt. There is no way the PLP should win one seat. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you?
Mr. Colley, Messrs. Colley and Aubrey.
Yes, sir.
Everybody have a plan, you know. When I was a child, I had a plan that one day I could buy all the ice cream I could get.
Did your plan come to fruition?
I realized how unrealistic it was after I got to be an adult. And I think that's the way they figure it out. They write a plan, and then when they become the government, they realize it's unrealistic, so they ignore the plan. In the same way, they ignore the people's choice to say no to the numbers racket.
Okay.
You know, and therefore, they realized that it wasn't a viable plan. But you were talking about the road, and I decided that inspired me really to give you a buzz, because between Blake Road and Love Beach, I think it is.
Yes.
Because it improves a little further down. It's like driving your cars like walking in a minefield. You have to be ducking here and ducking there. And January of last year, I had written to the Ministry of Works, who said they had to get some pipes repaired and stuff like that in the road before they do the repair. And that would have started in about 2 weeks.
I'm quite aware.
And this is almost 2 years, no, a year and a half later, and they still ain't fixed the pipe yet. So I don't know if it's because the area has a FNM MP, the reason why they didn't do it. But what always amazes me is that they ignore the fact that PLPs live in the area too.
That is true.
Don't worry about that. They will let them all suffer together.
So they don't care about the PLPs.
Well, as
long as you live in there.
As you live in there, you live in where the FNM or the people who don't support them, dog eats your lunch.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been trying to get them to fix that road, but so far it doesn't.
But you should not. Roads should not be a political issue. You are paying taxes for your roads to be maintained. Why should you have to pat the government on the back because they fixed the road? They are not doing anything out of extraordinary. That's what they are supposed to do.
Well, I just say the first time I voted against the PLP, and I was a PLP at the time, strong supporter of the PLP in 1982. And they had this very abrasive gentleman, I can't call his name right now, but he was running against Janet Boswick, who was running for the FNM.
You're not talking about Neville Adley.
No. This is before Neville Adley. He was a contractor. I can't remember. The short guy. Yeah.
Was running in Yamacraw?
It may have been called, I think it was called Yamacraw. Or maybe it was called Fox Hill. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Otis Brown was his name.
Oh, James Otis Brown.
Right. And Otis Brown came into my home and he was very boisterous and loud. So
James Otis Brown was from Exuma, I think.
I know he ran into either Fox Hill or Yamacraw.
Yeah, James Otis Brown. I remember him very vividly as we now talk about it. He used to his businesses used to be operated between Mackey Street, somewhere there in
right off that road by not Minute Muffler, the other one.
You got it right in that same vicinity.
Right.
Yeah.
So he walked into my house, and the first thing he said to me, because I lived on Sapphire Ridge Drive at the time, and he came in and he said, "If you vote for me, I will fix your road." And that put all kind of hell in me because I had to remind him that I grew up on St. Salvador, where they had no road, so fixing the road there don't mean a Christ thing to me. I know where all the holes are, and I could navigate my way through them. And I never could have put up with him, and he was the cause of me voting against the PLP for the first time in 1982. But be that as it may, they do what they got to do, and they believe fixing a road is supposed to make you vote for somebody. But
road works, those things, education, and so forth. Those things that are basic things that the government, any government, ought to provide, and it ought not to be a political issue in providing those things, those basic things that the Bahamian people need.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the politicians somehow believe that
not the politicians. It's us who give them the stamp of approval.
Caller, do you believe that the things that the PLP, the government is doing today, will sway the majority of Bahamians to come on this side as they do these last-minute things? And do you see them as being gimmicks and giveaways?
Well, I see them as gimmicks and giveaway, and unfortunately, they're using old-time politics against a new generation of people. And I don't think they appreciate the fact that this generation of people now can see through these things. And most of the things they're trying to do don't matter to most people. Promising me a job, it doesn't mean nothing. Promising
the police to pay them $20 million in overtime, you think that don't mean anything?
Well, that may mean something, but is it due to us?
Is it an inducement?
That's like me, you having a store, I go to your store and I credit some stuff. And then when I promise I can pay you at a certain time, when the time comes, I say I ain't gonna pay you.
No, I might tell you I don't have the money now.
Oh, okay. But what does that mean?
I'm still promising.
Exactly. But anyhow, I just wanted to check that part about the
roads.
West Bay Street Road, which is the main thoroughfare, by the way. A lot of tourists go and travels on that as well. I know. So I think it would have been wise if they had repaired that, but that's not my call.
Well, I can tell you, Marquis Street is being paved.
Yeah, I've seen it. I thought it was finished. No?
Well, I'll check it out this afternoon.
No, Marquis Street has been finished.
Very good. That's so nice.
That's that's been paid for about 2 weeks now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, sir.
Take care.
Thank you very much for your call and contribution. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or you can WhatsApp or text us 552-7902, 552-7902. We're taking our final break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussions and wrap it up. But the question to you, the promotions, the promises, the contract signing, the hiring, the road paving, is this good politics or desperation by the PLP? Give us a call. Let us know what you have on your mind. This is Straight Talk, and we'll be right back.
There is only one pharmacy in Nassau that never says no and offers you great service. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall for all of your pharmaceutical and prescription needs. At Doc's Pharmacy, great service is more than just giving prices. Filling your prescription is easy. Just call 322-3627 today. Doc's Pharmacy in the Ridgeland Mall, Robinson Road. The pharmacy that never says no.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction.
Southern Shores, you deserve better, and better is coming soon. Team Campbell has mobilized and is ready to restore a clean environment, free from illegal dumping, dredging, and unkept streets. Team Campbell will restore the spirit of community, where law enforcement and residents will work hand in hand to ensure safety and security. Your highways will be fixed so that motorists can move around quickly, while also ensuring the safety of your pedestrians. You know him as 40, and whenever the bell rings, vote Frankie Campbell, Free National Movement.
Hello, my name is Frankie Campbell, and I approve this message.
The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Who are you going to vote for? Are you a die-hard supporter, undecided, or do you believe that it's time for a change? Well, Popper and Bannister need to know. Who are you gonna vote for? Join Popper and Bannister live election dialogue on Global 99.5 FM Sundays 5 to 7 p.m. That's Popper and Bannister live election dialogue each Sunday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Global 99.5 FM. Be straight up and be real with your choice.
This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk. Our final couple of minutes left. We have about 68 minutes or so before we wrap up the show today. And we're going straight to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Mr. Colley, am I in?
You are in, sir. Turn your radio down for us, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I believe with reference to road repair, I live in South Beach, and we traffic East Street almost on a daily basis, leaving home and returning home. And we wonder, what are we paying money for in gasoline taxes to the government? But as we were advised, all the money goes into this general fund. And then the government sets its own priority as how they wish to use it. And it doesn't matter what the money is designated for. Do you have any idea of how much tax we pay on each gallon of gas purchased?
I don't have that figure right offhand, but we'll get it for you.
Is that money especially for road repair?
I don't have that specifically either, because you also pay, in addition to gasoline, you pay licensing fees, which I believe is directly tied into maintenance of roads and so forth. But then there are other taxes that are also supposed to be earmarked for road works and so forth. I think it may be coming from gasoline tax and a combination of gasoline tax and the licensing fees that you would pay at road traffic.
So then the question is, why are the roads in such deplorable condition?
Well, that's just my point. We should not have to see. I don't believe that we ought to pat any government on its back for fixing the roads. You're paying taxes for those things to be maintained. And if they fail to do it, that's good cause for you, especially at this late in the game. If they're just fixing the roads, that's good. More reasons why you should fire them, because it should be an ongoing process. Maintenance.
Yes.
That's why you have all those people hired at Ministry of Works. You have them hired at roads and parks, whatever it is.
Full time.
The full time, they're getting full time pay. You should. That's not a political issue. And if they see those things are not done, then that's good, just cause to fire them. I mean, that's my opinion.
Do you think a class action could be brought against the government?
The problem is which lawyer is going to take the case?
You think it's possible?
Of course, everything is possible.
A lawyer to take the case.
All things are possible. The thing is, they have to look at the chances of the possibility that they're going to win.
Well, you never know what you can win unless you
test the system, of course.
You test it.
Yes.
This is a new day.
Yes.
But I believe what happened is this. The government collected the taxes, put it where it suits them, priority-wise. And as far as they're concerned, they set their priorities on where it's most profitable for them. And they were more interested in passing legislation for stem cell, was it?
Yes.
Gambling, the referendum. That was where their priority was. For them, time ran out, and now they are rushing, trying to make up for lost time. But as far as I'm convinced, Mr. O'Brien, your co-host, people have virtually made up their minds how they're going to vote. And I don't think most of us are prepared to change our minds.
Okay.
As far as me and my family, we've already decided how we are going to vote. And it isn't in favor of the government at all. We are just sick and tired of being taken advantage of. They are our servants. And I think we all need, and I apply to anybody who's listening to my voice, it's time for us to fire them. It's time for us to teach this government a lesson that you are the servants, not the lords and masters of the Bahamian people. And when you are hired to do a job and you do not do the job, and you come telling us, but you need a raise for what you didn't do, no. We would be the biggest fools in the Western Hemisphere if this government gets another chance to simply go and enrich themselves.
Okay.
I didn't know that Mr. Obi was good for 7 million until I saw the punch today. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. I tell you, things that make you go, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. You can WhatsApp or text us 552-7902, 552-7902. Should we be excited? Should we take into consideration that the government is paving the roads? At this last moment, giving out last minute contracts, should that excite us? Should that entice us to vote them back in? Where are they going to get the money from to pay for all of these things? They don't have the money to finish the Andre Rogers Stadium. We'll say, tell me something, that money was earmarked?
Yes, sir. Budgeted. The money is there.
So why are they unable to pay Worsley?
Because it had to be, what do they call the word when you move it from one place to the other? He was talking about how they prioritize the spending, you know. So the money had to be utilized in certain other areas because the construction of the Andre Rogers new baseball diamond is not considered a national priority. They talked about it as being something that was very important for sporting activities in the country. But not so now, because there is a general election to be won. And there's a delay in all of those sorts of projects.
All right. We have a caller on the line. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you?
Hey, just great, sir.
Wonderful.
Good afternoon.
Mark, how are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
Yeah, I'm great. But, you know, I didn't really hear what you were saying just now because, you know, when you're waiting, you want to turn down the radio and all that stuff. But the gentleman before you, man, he was excellent. But I disagree with one thing he said. He said the most of us are not willing to make this change. I don't agree with that. I think the change is here and it's coming, and he's a part of it.
Well, I think he was being very measured and careful in his speech.
Yeah, well, he's not like he got a calculated mind, which is great. But, you know, the reason why I call this Mackey Street, I live on Mackey Street.
Yes.
Know? And Mackey Street has been dug up again, you see. And I thought maybe they'd have made a mistake the first time they did it because it's down by the Salvation Army where it's just right up again.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole street has been done. And I don't know about y'all, but, sorry?
Go ahead.
I don't know about y'all, but, you know, we got rid of the potholes, but those manholes are almost just as bad, you know. You could bang on them all day, just like, and they should take a little more time and do them properly.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for them, and like you said, Rev, we're not supposed to be overly grateful. We're supposed to expect that as a part of their obligation.
That's the obligation.
Yes, as a government, right? But
in fact, they're doing the job late. Yeah. If I know that somebody hire you to do a job, and you wait till the 13 hour to do it, why should I be impressed with you?
It's impactful for them. Sir. It's impactful.
Why,
not really working for me.
That is what it does.
Not for me.
And it makes some people forget that they used to drive on bad roads. And it's a good strategy.
You think?
And this is what they do.
Well,
they are masters of this game.
That's a shame, buddy. I don't even leave home if I don't have to. There's no pleasure in driving on the streets of Nassau. I want everybody to know that. Even the little good streets we have, the highway, when you get on them, you don't have to worry about potholes anymore. But now you're worried about people making 100 miles per hour past you, and there's no police in sight ever. And that's another thing, man. The lawlessness in this country is just unbelievable. But I really want to ask you one question. Unlike the clique, sorry?
Yes.
Yeah, unlike the clique we hire, right? The difference of the government is that they take money from us to maintain themselves and the country. And they've been saying to us through issues like the roadworks, of course, and the police not getting paid, and the country just falling apart. Literally, you can see it on Bay Street. The place looked like a ghetto. Open your eyes, Bahamas. I'm not even mentioning, like you said, the people are so used to driving on rocky roads and stuff, they can't see it anymore. You ever drive down East Street and really look at that place, man?
Yes, sir.
It's horrible, man. Sometimes I can't look. I can't lie to you. And don't miss and try to take a picture of it. Somebody will come and try to fight you because they know it looked that bad. And you just want to bring it to the people's attention, man. We could do better. We could do better. But the thing about it is, this money they had, the VAT money, all the millions, do you think they were just sitting there watching us suffer when they could hear every cry for the last 5 years they were in office? And all of a sudden, all the money is there? That sounds sadomasochistic to me, man. Sounds like these guys love seeing the people punished. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
If you had all the money all the while, well, why did you just give us all money,
where did it suddenly come from?
Where did it come from? Okay, that's what I wanted to ask, man. But my God, it sounds like some kind of cruel game they play on us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you very much, Ray.
All right. Welcome to Straight Talk. We have another caller line. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Hey, Bishop, I had to call you back because I want to clear up something. I am not endorsing no other parties. I simply am speaking to the senior politicians, the senior parties has to handle this nation properly to return discipline, respect, honor, and unconditional love. So I don't want them put my voice clip out there talking about I am not with the senior people. Senior people must be respected because they now say when you're 40-year-old and only from 16 to 29 counts. They're the new millennials.
They call 40 people old?
40-year-old, sir.
Really?
That's part of this paranormal religious or cult worshiping where all these, you remember down in Cowpen Road and Bacardi Road when these strange deaths happened, when the young lady was placed on the back of the car or the back of the truck and all that sort of stuff, still unresolved. This is what is happening. We need to respect and define our nation as a nation serving the Almighty God through a risen Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. I am not endorsing no other party. It has to happen between our senior politicians and to address what is outstanding there now on those coastal areas. Those people are suffering, especially our teachers and our military. That has to be addressed. So don't tell them I endorse no other party.
We will not do that.
Show respect and love to everybody because it's the godly thing to do.
Right.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Okay. Thank you, Bernice. Welcome to Straight Talk. Caller, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Does the representative supposed to have a bank account and his name or the constituency supposed to have their count?
Well, they could have both. You could have a constituency association that's active. They could be fundraising and doing all manner of things on behalf of the
they
party.
can have it in their name too?
Of the party. The party.
Anyway, they say you touch one, you touch all. The Bahamian people going to touch most of them.
But when you say they can touch most of them, what you mean?
The PLPs.
Or the PLP?
Yeah, you remember?
They say if you touch one, you touch all.
You touch all?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Bahamian people can touch most of them.
Okay.
Most of them, not all of them.
No, not all of them, most of them.
And how do you envision that will happen?
By losing the government.
Okay.
By represented in the House of Assembly.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can vote like Bishop.
All right.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Well, anybody who knows me, and I've been from day one, we got another caller. I've been on this show. I tell you all, I ain't supporting nobody who is no lawyer to lead this country going into the next election. So that's no secret to anybody, because we've had lawyers run this country from independence, and everybody say we're in a colossal mess. So why are you going to put another one from legal for eternity to run the country again? We need business people. We need people with common sense who, I'm not saying that they didn't have any common sense, but certainly we need people who know how to grow money.
And if you touch one, you touch all.
We ain't need nobody who don't know how to grow money. They had 2.1 million for the past 10 years. We need the kind of person who can run this country, and especially being Minister of Finance. You can't grow your own money, you can grow us.
Made
Child, please.
Bad investments.
Yes. 326-0271. 326-0271. 326-0272. 326-0272. 552-7902. 552-7902. Is it good politics or desperation by the PLP? With all these promotions being announced, all of these temporary jobs being created, they can't continue the job on the work on Andre Rogers Stadium.
Cannot.
The money is apparently run out or
quiet.
gone somewhere. Sidewalks started, they can't finish. The money run out.
They're quiet.
What's going on? So should we be patting the government on the back for fixing roads? Which is something that they are obligated to do. We're paying taxes to have them fixed. Should we congratulate them and say, oh, thank you for the good road? No! That's your job.
I like riding on Mackey Street, but it was terrible last several months.
So no, Mr. MP, no, Mr. Minister. Don't look for stopping the garbage from burning. In fact, we need to fire you for causing the burn, to allow it to burn in the first place. So no matter what kind of promise you make, those things, when you are hired by the Bahamian people to take care of the government, that is your responsibility. We're not going to give you any special kudos for that. And when you fall down, you ought to be fired.
And you think they should be telling us at this late stage that they are going to be bringing in 300 work permits in Bahama. They're releasing the new heads of agreement. They're supposed to provide us with information on the sales transaction, but the deal is still sealed. And that's where we'll continue tomorrow.
All right. I think we're flat out of time. We have to go to another assignment quickly. So we're not going to take any more of your calls. We want to thank you for your participation today. Thank you for your phone calls, for your text messages, for your contribution, your discussion with us today. I want to thank our producer, engineer, my co-host, Martin Aubrey, and to all of our listeners out there. Today's show has been brought to you by Doc's Pharmacy, by Master Assist, by Nature's Gifts, Fresh Roasted Peanuts, by Sammy's Chicken, by First Choice Appraisals and Sales, Frankie Campbell and the Southern Shores F&M Association, by Geneva Brass Seafood, by LRD Construction, and by Bannerson Purpose Election Dialogue Talk Show. This has been Straight Talk. Once again, we want to thank you for listening, and we will see you tomorrow, God's willing. Good afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.